the live stream is
puts more on the.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's like a tradition for us to not be in the right place when we start. I'm gonna post the link on your thing
Yeah,
once this actually goes live.
this one gets more on you,
Yeah,
and that's the one that's not really.
yeah.
It's just.
But I'm always overexposed when we do this.
So do you want this?
I mean, whatever. I don't know why, but every time like there's a camera on me, I'm just overexposed, like really bad. So there's so much light on like this, on this side of my face that you can't make out the detail. But it's not as bad right now.
We could raise.
Is my mic on? Are both mics on? Yeah, they're both on.
Hey, let's try to fix that.
Hey, Dad. George with a G. George with a J / Jorge, however he pronounces it, says, "Hey guys," so that's pretty neat. PugCast 16 is now live.
At least on your.
Come join and enjoy our pugs, you filthy peasants. I wouldn't type that. Yeah. I'm going. You know what? I'm feeling spicy. I'm gonna add a poll.
What time do you have?
7:02. I'll post that. If you click that, great. It's just me. It's just me now. This is fantastic. And the pugs aren't here. Dad's not here because it doesn't officially start until 7:15. You guys are about to learn some movie magic. Check this out. You see that blue? See that blue in the bottom of the thing? Guess what? Bang, we're going to key that out. This might be the best chroma key I've done on this.
I'm going to wait till you try the music because you're going to love it.
Shouldn't we get Mori?
We will.
I can't tell if that... No, that's just like some...
Do you look like less light on your left side?
Yeah, but I look like... Well, now my hair's messed up because I had my hood up earlier. Mom's gonna be like, you didn't comb your hair. I combed my hair.
Everybody's going to like your hair anyway.
You can't. Let me just get it all messed up for extra effect. There we go.
Do that. Go ahead and brush it then. Good grief.
It's fine. What program are we running? We use OBS because we know how to use technology. I know how to use technology. There we go. My hair looks... I mean, it's fine.
Did you see what Susan's put?
Susan?
Baited, B-A-T-E-D, breath, like for Norman Bates.
Yeah. That's alright. Wait, where are you seeing this?
On the Facebook page.
Do you like the poll I put up on Facebook?
Where would I find it?
It's your newest post. PugCast 16 is now live. Come and enjoy our pugs. Then there's a link to the stream and it says, what are pugs? And there's two options.
Let me refresh.
Good dogs or the best dogs. So, it's pretty easy.
Facebook is hopeless.
Facebook is my least favorite social media site, and if it wasn't for the fact that people already used it, nobody would use it.
I have no idea where to even look for that. So
Peter Sullivan says, introduce the new pug. We will. We might, if you're good.
No, that's what I posted. It's Norman's debut. Yeah, I have no idea where that.
Yeah, I wasn't named after Calvin Klein, especially K-L-I-N-E.
Oh, I see it now. Okay.
He'll be here soon enough.
Good dog's the best dog.
Well, those are the only two valid options. Because
Right.
to imply pugs aren't good dogs is borderline heresy.
All right, now, did I watch this on Facebook or do I watch it on YouTube?
What do you mean?
Like, there's a way I watch this.
Watched what?
Where I can see the comments. I
YouTube.
think it's YouTube, yeah. So.
We'd probably have more people if we streamed to Facebook, but if we stream to Facebook, we're gonna have less options.
Yeah.
I mean, I could use OBS to stream to Facebook, but the problem with that is that, at least when I do it on my personal streams, it barely works. There's like way too much latency, and if you, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. It's unfortunate. Facebook's unfortunate.
Well, so we're live now.
Yeah,
Just put a note in there that
we've been live for like
I
6
know,
minutes.
just say we're live now, but
I did.
7:15 is the official start. So
Okay, Dad, be honest with me. So, like, this computer defaults to Google Drive. How often do you actually do a search on Google Drive?
never.
But like every time
You gotta hit the home button.
I don't have to hit the home button like when I use regular computers. It's only when I use this one. This is the only computer I've ever seen that takes
That's how mine is. I have to hit home to get Google.
Well, that's not how mine does. I can just press. Then again, I don't use Google Chrome, so that could also be it. I'm gonna mute the desktop audio real quick. Yeah, double streams don't work very well unless we're using two different things.
Right. Did you try the music? Don't try now because we're live.
No, I mean like I muted the desktop, so I could be playing like thrash metal right now, and they wouldn't know.
Look for the other song I told you. It's gonna be on YouTube.
One sec, this is being weird.
Well, let me see if it is.
Is my audio? That's very strange.
Oh yeah.
I genuinely.
The first hit is the audio. What if I click on it? Are you gonna be able to hear it, or is anybody else?
Like if it's playing through yours?
Yeah.
Because.
All right, then I won't click on it.
For some reason, when I'm I'm not getting any audio from YouTube videos through these.
Then how do we know that the viewers can hear it?
They can't hear it if I'm using these.
Well, then unplug it.
But the problem is that if I blast them through the speakers, then
All right, well, you were the one that said this was easy. And that you
well,
had a
it
solution.
was easy until you brought headphones that connected via USB.
Do you want the other headphones? We have time.
Yes, please go grab them.
Then unplug.
Well,
those.
actually, let me see if this works because I unplugged and replugged. Doesn't work.
All right, unplug them.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Headphones that probably predate me. These headphones are so old they connect with USB. His headphones are so old that I have to like blow into the USB port every time just to make sure it works. What is with this hair? That's unfortunate. You know what? I'm just gonna go hood this time. I don't care if it makes me look like a hoodlum. Is that why they're called hoodlums? It's crazy. No. We're trying to. The headphone issue is entirely different. The headphones are for us, not you. Let me post this in the Discord for a change. Oh, sweet. The Discord has a memes page now. I can't wait to see what epic Christian memes are in here. Yep, that's about as bad as I expected. Hey, Dad, check this out. Check this out. I'm not going to show it on the stream, but check this out. Look at this. Yeah, that's pretty good, right? Can I throw that up on the stream? Can I?
I'm sure you want to. You can put it at some point.
I'll put it up right now before it officially begins. Guys, check out this epic meme submitted by Watchman 12. He probably didn't make it because I don't think anyone even makes their own memes now.
Okay.
Mori.
You gotta be careful with these. These are expensive.
Wait, what the heck? How is Mori not on the camera? The heck?
Is your camera plugged in?
Yeah, it's plugged. It's really weird. Just give me a moment. That's bizarre. That's the strangest thing I've ever seen on OBS. That's just baffling. There we go. Oh, look, he's here, but the illusion is shattered, so I gotta quickly...
Plug this into the jack on the computer.
Jack's on the other side, but... Those are some heavy-duty headphones.
Okay. Right, left. When you put it on...
I'm listening.
When you put it on, flick that button.
And then that'll turn it on?
And it turns it on.
Is this battery powered?
No. Well, no. You have to charge them. They're charged.
So it is charged with the battery then?
Yeah, they have a battery. And the Bluetooth shouldn't matter. It should go right to the computer because they're noise canceling.
That's true. Let me see if they can hear this. All right, this should actually work. Now I just gotta... More needs to be more on the right. It's my issue. Actually, let me just
tilt this. Should I move the camera?
This is the future, Dad. We can move the camera. All right. Wow, this cancels out so much of the noise.
Yeah, they're not cheap. They're awesome. Once you've tried them, you never want anything else.
Let me just see if I can accurately keep that. I think that's a... I mean, it doesn't look that good.
It's like getting a pug after you've had other breeds. Once you've had one, you just don't want any other breed.
Yeah. Pugs are the best. You know why? No one knows why, but everyone knows that they are. Let me see if this makes the audio work. Let me try a different upload.
Okay.
Hey, Mori, what you doing?
We're supposed to be like doing our thing in 2 minutes, even though we've been live for 13.
This is very... Oh! The tab is muted. The tab was just muted by default.
Okay. Well, figure it out.
Yeah,
just
fine.
put anything up on YouTube and see if they can hear the sound. Because then when Norman...
I think you should be wearing these for when we do it.
Okay.
You're going to be wearing something new for a change.
Unplug them. Or, no, wait. Should we keep them plugged in there?
Yes. We'll just put them on.
I know, but the cord's not that long is the point.
Well, I'll just move mine closer.
Yeah.
And this is the miracle of how matter works. We can move stuff. We got Mori in the chat. People still think the headphones are... That's not what we're talking about. Ghostly Mori. He's not transparent. Mori's there in the chat. Mori is a true soldier of the streets.
See now, does it look like I'm sticking my face right in my camera now?
Not really. It looks fine.
No, except for when it does.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. This is the most this is the definition of jury rigged. Let me just quickly blow Mori up a bit. Oops, wrong button. It's shift to do that, right? Yeah, he's a stretchy boy. He's so stretch. Look at how stretchy he is. What do you... He's ascending. Let me just put him like that. Mori, look at me. There we go. Now he's in the chat. Now he's golden. Hello, welcome to the PugCast, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter.
All right. That's pretty much it. That's actually a really good description. You know what? You know what he's looking at, don't you? Here,
What's he looking at?
see if I can get him to look over here.
Yeah.
He's looking at that pepperoni.
But now his head's out of the frame.
Is his head in the frame now?
It's. Oh wait, I can zoom out more. This is great. This is a miracle. This is a Christmas miracle, Dad. Look at him. He looks so sad and lost.
Look who's coming in.
Do you want me to get it prepped?
This was the point of our episode tonight.
Yeah. Like after this happens, we're done. We're just gonna have.
You know.
Noise.
We've been saying we're having we got a new pug. This is his debut. So wait till Mom brings him over.
Madre. Bring the.
Go to Calvin's left.
Donde está el perro? Well, you're not gonna be on camera. It's
right.
But they can hear you.
Give him to me.
This is. All right, Dad. You ready for this?
Okay, go ahead.
Do you hear it? Let me just switch to only you. No, that's not good. He's staring at me. Hey, Norman.
There he is. Say hi, Norman.
A little force of destruction. I should probably turn that off.
Okay. Okay, this is Norman, everybody. And yes, we named him after the psycho Norman Bates because Moriarty was named after the crazy villain in the Sherlock series. So this is our crazy villain now. And I'm hoping that my wife's in the room, and just like the real Norman Bates, or I should say the movie Norman Bates, this Norman has a mommy issue.
Hi, buddy. Hi. How are you?
He is so attached to mommy. It's
Hey,
kind of
baby.
pathetic.
What you doing? What you do? What you do?
Are you gonna say something? He can get really vocal if Drina gets him going enough.
He's too sleepy.
This is incredible.
He's too sleepy.
So sleepy.
Hey, Norman.
How
Are
many
you
naps have you
sleepy?
had today?
Are you sleepy?
He's had all of the naps.
Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy?
Should we put
So
him with Mori?
We've had Norman for 3 weeks, and I don't know. Is he a good boy?
No. Yeah. Well, a little. Yeah, kind of.
Oh. See if we can get a little whimper here. A Norman whimper.
Put him with Mori, Dad.
He's looking for mommy. Okay, let's put him with Maury. See what he does.
All right, this should be interesting. We now have 2 pugs on the dedicated pug
Okay,
cam.
don't let him jump
Yo,
here.
Norman, you can't do that.
Turn him around.
He won't. He won't.
A bear.
No, he won't.
We could give him a little cookie.
Yeah, we could. We just
Mom says no.
Mom, check this out. They live in the
Like
chat.
we're turning we have an obesity problem here. I don't think that's the
Look
case.
at how sad Mori always looks now when Norman's around. This is incredible.
There they are.
Mute that.
Yeah. Okay.
It wouldn't be PugCast if that didn't happen at least once.
Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't be the podcast if I didn't do that once or twice during the show.
Hey, Norman. Bye, Norman.
Just and there with a head tilt, there he goes.
Norman. Hi, baby.
Look, Maury is even awake.
Hi, Mori.
He's having an impact.
He's having an
He's
impact.
having an impact already.
Hi, Norman. Hi, Norman. Hi, buddy.
Ay, ay,
You're
ay.
so cute.
Dad, I'm gonna put them in the Illuminati base.
So Norman has been pretty good. There's a whimper. I don't know if you can pick that up. Yes, that's a real sound if you're hearing it. Yeah, 20 naps a day, Susan says. Norman's going to stab someone in the shower.
Won't be me.
There we go. This is their real base,
Yeah.
the Illuminati fortress.
Carly says Mori looks unnerved. I think
That's a very good way of putting it.
He's not quite used to Norman yet. Norman, I mean, when they eat at night, especially, they both get frisky. Okay, so now now Norman's acting up because my wife is sort of calling to him. I see that, Calvin, that Illuminati thing behind Mori and Norman.
I
Yes,
could put anything behind them if I wanted.
they are leaders. They are leaders in the Illuminati right there.
Boy, you look like a little burrito.
Or a hairless bat. Something like that.
So, Maury's just so dejected.
This is kind of what Maury does all day around Norman, or nap.
He just
He'll do
pretends
that.
not to see him.
Yeah.
So this is our cast now.
Not to see him.
Yeah.
But look how awake he is. I mean, this is like therapy.
Maury has to be alert or else Norman's going to jump him. Norman is very antagonistic.
Yeah, when we feed him, they'll wrestle a lot. Then they'll
Yeah,
roughhouse.
they will. It's more like Norman will get on his back and like sit on top of his head while Maury's just sitting there.
Yes. Can you hear it?
Should I take him?
No,
now?
we're keeping him for a bit.
Are you gonna keep him for a
Yeah.
little while?
Yeah, we'll keep him a little bit.
Okay, well, just let me know.
His dad awkwardly out of frame. There we go. See,
Vincent says, do not give Norman a wig and definitely no cutlery. Yeah.
he doesn't need cutlery when he has chompers like that.
He wants. Look at Maury.
Yeah, Norman
Maury.
doesn't know what's going on, but he knows when he's getting attention.
Yeah, that's all that
Absolutely.
matters. Can we smash
Lori
50,000
asks,
likes for Norman?
Is Armin back yet? No, Armin is not back. So
Armin's-
we've concluded.
Is he cold? He might be cold.
He's
I'm gonna
gone.
bring him over.
He's not cold.
Okay. Well,
So no, it's not cold in here right now.
but like smaller things feel more cold.
Uh-oh, mommy disappeared.
Norman, you're fine.
That's producing some anxiety.
Okay, Norman.
We got to get that on microphone if they can pick that up. The whimper is just classic.
Okay, Norman.
Uh-oh.
You're good. You a good boy.
Does he see mommy?
No. Oh wait, he does. Hand reveal. There we go.
Yeah, this is Norman at his best behavior, trust me.
Yeah, this is like the only time he's ever been slightly tolerable while I've been holding him. And it's mainly because he's distracted.
Yeah, we thought about the 2001 music, either that or Elvis Presley's Devil in Disguise. That would have been,
Okay, Norman.
you know, like in baseball
You
when
cold?
batters have walk-up music.
You cool or you just...
That would be that'd be like Norman's walk-up music.
Norman would have like an entire like WWE wrestler intro.
Yeah.
On a bounce. Look at that.
No,
Look at
Maury's only 25 pounds,
that. See
Richard.
the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, last weekend, believe it or not, I put something on Twitter. We went to a pug social. Yes, there are such things. We went to a pug social in Bellingham, and people brought their pugs. And there were a couple pugs there that reminded us to not overfeed our pugs. I mean, they were fun pugs, but they looked uncomfortable. At least one of them did. So, I know you want mommy. Like, where'd she go? She disappeared.
I feel like I should give him my jacket. But my jacket's blue and it'll
Look,
also get
he's
keyed
not.
out.
He's not cold.
I'm a floating hand.
He's not cold.
I'm a floating hand. Petting
Oh,
Maury.
oh, he sees the cookie.
I'm a
All
floating
right. Well, mom's gone, so we're gonna give you the cookie. That'll content him for a little bit.
The hand of the Illuminati has petted them. Maury's found a new chin rest.
Yeah. Well, Norman uses Maury as a body rest a lot.
Yeah.
They like to lay in the sun, then Norman will kind of lay on Normie or Norman. Oh boy, I'm getting them mixed up. Norman will lay on Mori half the time.
Oh,
okay,
he's
Norman.
escaped.
I know. He's imitating Armin now. He's doing his best Armin imitation. Come here. Come here. You're all right. Yes, Mommy's not here, but you're not going to die. There. So.
Wow. What a
now,
hero.
Now Mori looks dejected.
Mori's like, I'm having the time of my life.
Either that or he looks relieved. Which is it?
Vote in the chat below.
Anyway, we went to this pug social last week, and needless to say, when Norman showed up, everybody else forgot about their pugs. It was just kind of pathetic.
What do you mean?
I mean, everybody wanted to hold him and look at him. It was just crazy. So it's like, let the pugs run around and socialize with each other, but everybody wanted to hold Norman.
No need to flex on us.
Because Mom says, I hear that. Okay, Jorge says, I hear the cries, yes. No Java pugs for you? I don't know what that means, Susan.
Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
His face.
No, we're not going to do that.
Is so fascinating.
Yes, Norman whimpers for Drina. Just, trust me. It's like, if he knows she's in the house, or like if he gets interrupted when he's napping on her.
The way he stares at me just cracks me up.
If you take him away, then he whimpers. He does have mommy issues, just really. I mean, he really does.
His issue is that he only has one mother, and he wants all of them.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? Okay, let's get a little close-up of Norman's collar. Again, Norman is a guard pug in training. Look at this fearsome collar.
Dang, is that wow, he's like a pirate. It's really
That's
blurry,
right.
but I'm sure they can figure out what it is. A little further. There we go.
Yeah.
Dang, look at that collar.
Look at that. Wouldn't that strike fear in you?
Wait, Dad, put Norman right
We should get him a spiked collar.
Dad, put Norman right up against the mic. Like those sounds. Have some pug ASMR. Oh, it's bleeding his
There
mind.
he
It's not
is.
good.
Now, when Norman, again, we've had him 3 weeks, and he had a little bit of a bronchial infection when we brought him home. So now you're snotting up. He is on antibiotics, so his nose is getting a little runny.
He's on Xanax.
So the vet actually said, when we take him in to be fixed, maybe we can laser his nostrils and make them a little bigger. Like, really? I don't know if that'll be necessary or not, but yeah, he's got a little bit of a runny nose.
What if he could shoot lasers from his nose?
Yeah, that would be even better. We should ask the vet that. Like, when you enlarge them, can you, like, install lasers? Like,
He sounds like a rooster.
Can you weaponize him?
He's like a rooster crowing.
Speaking of being weaponized, look at Mori.
Yep, a true weapon.
Mori is locked and loaded.
Wait, put Norman in there with him. Let's see how this works. Oh, Maury's up.
It's not again. I get interrupted. I keep getting interrupted by this little black thing. Oh, hold on.
We'll let them mingle for a bit.
I'm gonna. Boy, I can't believe I don't have a Kleenex. I was gonna take care of Norman's nostril.
We'll go get a Kleenex. Do it. Okay, Dad, get yourself a Kleenex. I'll run it while you're gone.
Okay, just keep an eye on him so he doesn't jump.
Yeah, I will. I'll even take your spot.
All right.
Look, I'm finally behind a gray background, and I probably don't look like a ghost. This is Norman. Stop. Why are you doing that, Norman? I think Mori deserves some attention. All right, Mori, calm down. It's just me. This is normal. Okay.
Okay.
Go. You take care of him.
Come here.
Wow.
Got clean you up a little bit.
Get
You're on
wrecked. Norman.
camera.
Oh, take him. He's a thick pug. Oh.
Mori's like a tuskless walrus next to Norman.
He's one of the divine beasts.
That's right. Okay.
We need some more Illuminati background. There we go.
All right. Well, there we go.
I like how Norman.
Somebody said you have healthier skin tone now. What happened?
Oh, because I sat in the thing that doesn't make me look like a ghost. I look like a corpse on this camera, and when I'm over there, I actually look like I look like I have psoriasis. Wait, is psoriasis when your skin gets pale?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like I have psoriasis on this mic.
Yeah, Dexter would be an interesting name too.
Only a Heiser child could drop the word psoriasis in a
Okay,
regular
are you getting this
conversation.
on camera?
Oh, I
where-
am. It's just the Illuminati. This is an Illuminati meeting live.
This is Norman going after Maury. Look at Maury. He's like,
Maury's like he's
can
still
someone
the statue.
rescue me?
The last hope.
Partners in crime. Okay.
There's definitely crime.
Yeah, Norman's getting frisky. So when Mom comes back in, we'll let her take him out.
Yeah.
So
Oh, hey.
they're doing okay.
Let me just do a little cinematic zoom in. Dang, look at that pug. Man, look at that pug.
Nice yawn there, Norman.
Yeah, there we go. Up.
Okay, pick it up. Or I'll get
Well,
it.
rest in peace.
There.
Rest in peace. Cameras. We got a little bit of a Dutch angle, bringing me back to
There we go.
Bates Motel. The thing is, like we had it wedged like a
Yeah.
crowbar.
There you go.
All right, Dad. Who would win? One Mori-sized Norman or 3 Norman-sized Moris? who would win?
I think the one Maury-sized Norman.
Yeah, that's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he bites everything and chews everything. So
How many Normans would it take to defeat Bones?
boy.
We should have Bones in the PugCast
No,
someday.
we should not do that.
But we should reveal Bones on the PugCast.
Look, she would knock everything on
She
the
would,
table
and it
off.
would be hilarious.
No, it wouldn't be hilarious.
It would be.
Norman sneezed, so we'll take him in soon. Yeah, Heiser-sized Norman.
Man, this stream has been nothing but us appreciating pugs.
There he comes. Come on over.
So
Come
what
on.
Wow.
We'll take you in. I know you want mommy.
He wants
Here.
Madre.
Oh, there we go. Come on.
Wait, Dad. Keep holding him.
Okay.
For the first time in PugCast history, we're both holding a pug at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Maury. This is it. This is our moment, Maury. We're making history, Maury.
It kills me how when he's sitting here, he looks like right at the camera.
Yeah, he's looking right at me.
It's like, really? What's up? What's up?
We can do a pug seance.
There you go. Have we decided, because for Halloween we like to dress up the pugs. So I know Maury has a costume, but are we gonna do something with Norman?
Norman should have like a shark costume.
The
That's what I think.
piranha.
Yeah.
We call him the furry piranha. Yeah, we could do a.
You're walking through a dark alley and you see a swarm of Normans. What do you do? What do you do, Dad?
You run.
Norman, Maury, how come you're always so uncomfortable?
You
on
put
camera?
your slippers on.
Oh.
That's what I do. All right. We should take him in. I'll take you in. Go be with mommy. All right, let's go.
Tonight we strike, Mori. Tonight.
Mori's revenge.
That was PugCast episode 3, I think. Mori's revenge. All right, we're gonna put you back in the chat. Mori, moderate for us, please. Do your little air swim. There we go. Yeah, what a good boy. You're a wrinkly boy. Mori is the wrinkled king. There we go. It's just me again. Awaiting father. There we go. It be that way sometimes. This is the best podcast ever, says Lori. Well, you're right. This is the only podcast.
We added to the talent. For sure, certainly.
Thick, wrinkly boy,
Good job,
says
Mori.
Chaos Tamer.
There you go.
I thought the rapture happened when the camera dropped.
Let's see.
How's school?
Psychopath dog Illuminati members at the Pug Social. Any missing bugs? No, it was the Pug Social was fun. There was one pug there though that had a seizure, an older one.
Oh yes, Dad, I forgot to.
But he was okay then.
Okay. I'm gonna put Illuminati Mori here because I have to post that flat Earth meme that was sent. So we're just gonna bring in a brand new
3
meme.
Boston Bulldogs. That would be cool.
Not as cool as Mori.
No, he doesn't really like Norman's treats, so I'll take that one away.
This is.
Yeah, it is the most active Mori has been. Trust me, we've noticed that. Yeah. Okay, Mori. Here you go. That'll get your blood flowing a little bit.
I gotta throw in the meme. I gotta do this fast.
Let's see here.
There we go. So Mori's just gonna chill in the background.
Susan said Mori's more active because you've been moving him around.
That is true. His
It's
blood.
kinda like
There
get
we
the blood
go.
circulating.
So the meme goes.
You know, I just want you to know though that Mori is not overweight. I mean, Maury's like right on the. He's not. I mean, he's 24. He had actually lost a pound, like 24, 25. So that's the upper side of normal or acceptable. So we have to keep him in there.
Do you like this meme, Dad? Sir, this spot is for the handicapped only. The earth is flat. Sorry for bothering you. Have a nice day.
Oh, you had to work it in there, didn't you?
Well, I mean, I asked if I could put it in. You said yes. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, there we go. There's meme. And that's Maury's reaction to the meme. He's shell-shocked. Maury always looks like he's entrenched.
All right. Yeah, anyway.
Quite
So
incredible.
I don't know, the Pug Social, there were about, it was probably a dozen pugs, which was great. When we went to pick Norman up, from the breeder, he had like his yard sectioned off into like 4 pen areas, and I just looked at Drina and said, "I've seen my future," and she's like, "No way," because I've said I want to breed pugs, but yes, I've seen my future.
You know, we can make a profit off of that.
'Cause we're not going to get any more pugs until Atticus is gone, so we're kind of at our limit here.
Good dogs never die. They just go missing in action.
Yeah. What is he looking for now?
Something interesting.
And he's looking the other way.
He's looking for intelligent life that's like on par with him.
Yeah, well,
He
good luck.
doesn't see
Good
it.
luck with that. Good luck with that.
Very odd that he'd check inside the couch cushions first.
So this last week, 2 days this week, I was in San Diego for a, believe it or not, a Lutheran conference. Now, I went to I was a Logos rep for this. It was sort of like a Logos thing. And I got to demo the software and whatnot. But the idea to have me go was based on a friend of mine. It came from a friend of mine. We talked last year at the academic meetings. Steve Burns, he runs the 1517 Project. It's a nonprofit. You can go up and look at it. But I mention this because if any of you are Lutheran, I have since learned that the 1517 Project has a number of people in it and attracts people within that tradition that care about the things we care about, like on the Naked Bible podcast and just in general. In other words, there are people in that tradition, again, that are just, they're at the same point. I'm not being taught what in the world is this sermon about. They lose the gospel. Just a whole litany of issues. And so the 1517 Project tries to provide, a forum for that. They provide content. They sell books. They get books translated. They have a podcast as well. And I'm going to try. Once I showed up there, the guys who do their podcast, they have actually a couple. One's 40 minutes in the Old Testament. The other one's 30 minutes in the New Testament. And they did a joint podcast because they were covering Numbers 21, the serpent raised up in the wilderness, and so they wanted me to participate in that, and it was fun. So their podcast mentioned my podcast, and I'm gonna try to get at least one of the guys doing their podcast on, because again, I talked to them and it's like, here we go again. Every tradition just has people in it who are trying to fill the void of what they're not getting. So it was kind of encouraging. I was only there a couple days, but it was a good event. So we hope to give them a little bit more exposure, down the road to help them out. I'm trying to think, there was something else that came up today that I was going to mention here. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you have not been to my homepage recently, you should go there. You probably know this if you listen to the podcast, but during the ETS SBL week, which is November 13th through the 20th, 19 or 20, something Tuesday to Tuesday. That Friday, which I think is let me just look in the calendar so I'm not guessing here. This is in Denver, Colorado this year. That's where the meetings are this year. So let's see, let's get November up here. The 16th. So November 16th, somewhere in the area of Denver, we're going to have, like we'd always do at the academic meetings, a Naked Bible podcast sort of meetup, and we'll do live Q&A again. So, just go to the website, check that out. We don't have all the details posted there yet. I'm also going to be at a particular church the night before. So there was a church who reached out and asked if I would come to their church, and I'm only going to be there for an hour or so, because they wanted me to come and do a session on the two powers in heaven stuff. Let's see. Okay, I do not have that one up yet. So that'll go up. It'll go out in the newsletter. I can't remember what the church is off the top of my head, but those are the next couple things that I know I'll be at, and listeners can come to, and again, do Q&A and just meet, that kind of thing. Now, next week though, I'm going to be in Philadelphia. This is not a Mike event. It's not an Unseen Realm event. Maury, what is he doing? Is he falling asleep?
I don't know.
Maury,
knows.
Go see what he's doing. I think he's falling asleep back there.
Maury. Nope.
Okay.
He's sprung up. Also, this camera
yeah,
shut off, just so you know.
Why?
I don't know. He just did.
Oh, okay. Next week I'm going to be in Philadelphia. Okay, again, this isn't, I'm just speaking at an event, but I wanted to let people know. The Frequency Conference is what it's called. It's going to be at the downtown Marriott and I'm a guest speaker there. I'm doing 2 breakout sessions. If you want information, I'm going to blog this over the weekend, so you can get it there. But again, you could go to my homepage now already, and it's under upcoming events. You can click out to the website for the conference. But I'm going to be doing 2 breakout sessions. I'm going to be doing a book signing, and what's the other thing? I'm going to be on a panel. So this is kind of an urban, ministry sort of event. It's pretty large. They expect to have 1,000 people there. And they're also going to be live streaming it. So over the weekend, again, I'm going to blog this. Calvin and I are going to do a bit of a live stream, just sort of a 1 or 2 minute announcement about that next week, because they've asked us to do that at least once to promote the live streaming. I think the event itself has sold out, although I'm not quite sure about that. But they are doing live streaming, so we'll help them promote that. But if you're in the Philadelphia area, you could, in theory, go over there. I can't tell you where I'll be other than, on the schedule. I'll be in whatever room they stick me in. But, we may have a book table. There's a book signing. I mean, you could always come for that if you're in the area and stop over. But just so that you know, again, it's not an event I have any control over as far as my time. But there it is. It is what it is. So we mentioned that. We mentioned the Denver stuff, and then that's it for 2018. I do have something on my calendar for 2019. I'm gonna be adding one more thing there in the near future for 2019. I should say, while I'm on this, I keep getting requests for speaking, and I've mentioned this before, so I'll mention it again. And I put it in the newsletter. I keep mentioning the newsletter. If you don't subscribe to the newsletter, you should, because you just miss stuff if you don't. Yeah, Jen, Tony Evans is there in the Philadelphia event. Matt Chandler's there. Again, I know who Tony Evans is because I spent a year at Dallas Seminary, so I know who that is.
Do you know who Gary Wayne is?
Again, you had to fit that in too.
My favorite.
I've heard Matt Chandler's name, but I don't know anything about him. I know he's real popular. I think he's a pastor somewhere, but he's going to be there. Yeah, I'm not sure I actually know anybody else in Philadelphia, but the organizer, Eric Mason, Dr. Eric Mason, he's read Unseen Realm, and that's basically why I'm there. He wants, I'm going to do a breakout session on what, again, he created the title for this, The Validity of the Old Testament. I'm going to do something a little bit different with that than people are probably expecting. And then the other one is this something. Boy, I should have the actual thing up here, and then I could tell people. Let me just open this up so I don't get this title messed up.
Jen Doe says, Calvin, I just made a meme of Norman. How do I post it? Put it on the Discord if you're in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, I'll throw a link in the chat.
All right, the schedule for Frequency Conference. My other session, I'll just give you the times now that I have my personal schedule up here. So the book signing is at 3:30 on Friday, October 26th. Again, this is the Philadelphia Marriott downtown. Then at 4:15, there's a panel. I'm going to be on that panel. And then the next day, Saturday, I have a breakout session that starts at 10:10 a.m., the validity of the Old Testament. And then after lunch, I have my second breakout session, which is entitled The Supernatural Fight for Unity and Cultural Change. And basically, they're going to get the Deuteronomy 32 worldview dumped on them and imaging. So I don't know what to expect. I don't know how big these rooms are. But I can almost guarantee that probably half or better of the people in the room will never have heard of this stuff. So it could be interesting. But if you're in the Philadelphia area, again, the book signing is at 3:30 on Friday, the 26th. So I'll be there the 26th and the 27th. And then I've got to I'm going to test Uber. I'm taking Uber from Newark, New Jersey to Philadelphia, and then from Philadelphia to New York City. I've never been in New York City before, but I'm scheduled to do an in-studio interview there with Eric Metaxas in downtown Manhattan. So that'll be interesting. I'm sure it'll be fun, to do the interview. I've been on the show before, but not in studio. But downtown New York. Again, we got to get from Philadelphia to New York by Uber, and then we got to get around New York some way because I'm not driving in a place like that. So again, if you're in that area, I don't even know where Metaxas' studio is, so I can't really say too much about that. Maybe I'll find out at some point. But I keep asking the person who set up the interview to tell me, and I don't have an answer yet. So if I don't get an answer, that will really be interesting because I won't be able to find the place. Matt asks, Deuteronomy 32 chat with Metaxas. I don't really know because the first time I was on, we did Unseen Realm. We talked about that book. This one is going to be Angels. And again, the Deuteronomy 32 stuff doesn't really cater to the good guys. So I don't really know. It just depends on what he wants to ask. I'm hoping he's read, a decent bit of the book. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be the Socrates and the city stuff, or I think I know there's a difference between that and his podcast, but I'm going for the podcast. But I couldn't really tell you what the difference is. I just know there is one. Yeah. Oh, you're right across from Manhattan on the Jersey side. Don't look too highly on New York City these days. Well, what can I say? Look at my shirt here. This tells you right where I'm at. So Boston Red Sox. I will not wear this in New York City. I will probably not wear my Red Sox hat in New York City. Because once I find out where the studio is, I do want to get there and not look like I've been in a fight. So what's new with you, Calvin?
What's new with me? I spent today and yesterday, I spent like 6 hours on,
Is this an editing project?
No, it's not. It's so I've been getting back into Guitar Hero a lot lately, right? And I've downloaded this program where you can basically mod new, basically songs or levels into the game. And I've been spending a bunch of time. There's this 17-minute song, right? Mm-hmm. And I've been.
Does it track how many notes you miss? Is that the point?
Yeah.
Do you miss any?
Well, the song on the hardest difficulty is 10,000 notes, but I play on the hard version, which is about a little over 6,500.
Okay.
And I hit around 98% accuracy.
Wow.
But I've been working on remaking the song so that it's harder than the hard one, but easier than expert, because I want to eventually get that one.
Okay.
Really good, and that's what I've been working on. I've been modding the game. Let me actually show you a clip real quick.
We get some Yankee fans here that are just
This is from the 10,000 note version of it. Let me pull it up.
My wife's a Yankee fan, by the way.
I can't put it up on the stream, but
so it can work.
Yeah, this is 24 notes in a second, and I only missed one of them.
How do you get 24 notes in 1 second?
Like that.
Well, that's ridiculous, boy.
Isn't that insane? Look at that. I don't know if it's actually in there. It could have been.
Are you doing anything for school? I hope.
Well, all my homework. Well, in my regular school, how do I say, rotation, all my stuff is due on the Thursdays.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. It's predictable.
Yeah, we're glitching it, but they didn't see the clip of that.
Dan says, "Do Dream Theater Dance of Eternity." Do you know what that is, Calvin?
Dream Theater Dance of Eternity. Is that for Guitar Hero? Dan Shea. Let me look that up. Oh, you know what I love?
Matt, the answer to your question is yes. Go ahead, Calvin.
Okay, so there's a website where people who play the game get all of the songs, right? Mm-hmm. And you know what their URL is? I love this. It's chorus.fightthe.pw because it uses the PW instead of .com, so it says "fight the power" as the URL. I think it's a great play on.
It's clever.
What was it called again? Dream Theater Dance of Eternity.
Matt, I would not waste my time debating James White for two reasons.
It's a wreckage chart.
One is I don't do debates because Say it with me, folks. Debates are for the lazy. Okay. The other is that would be like debating a point of Greek exegesis with someone who's working only in the English Bible. You know, White has no feel for the ancient Near Eastern context. I don't even know if he's interested in it. If he is, he at all, he just doesn't get it. And he just refuses to interpret the passages according to their own context. So what a colossal waste of time that would be. It's just a waste of time. And again, I have a very low view of those things in general. So, I just don't do them. To me, and again, I'm not going to say, nor could I say that debates never serve any good purpose. I guess they do. I mean, I can, if I thought hard enough, I could think of examples where they do or did, and for somebody, I guess. I think so. But to me, they're almost part of the problem that I've kind of dedicated myself to helping to solve. And that is, most people who listen to a debate don't want to study. They don't want to do the research. They don't want to put in dozens or hundreds of hours in something and really understanding a subject and being able to take it apart and put it back together again, really doing the grunt work. What they want is for you, the person doing the debate, to do work for them. Okay? I'm just not doing that. I'm just not doing it. If you want to know what I think, read. Okay? Read. That's why I write things. And I write them under peer review. Again, so people who know what they're doing in terms of Old Testament Semitics and all that kind of stuff, they evaluate what I'm saying and then they, vet it. They publish it. So
I'm just trying to word this. Do you really think that debates are for the lazy?
I do.
Well,
I really do. I just because
how do you defend that really?
Because people want someone else to do the work for them. They want to sit there and listen to a little snapshot version of a subject instead of getting into the subject themselves.
But what if they get into it and then they're also interested in this?
Okay, why wouldn't they get into it and be interested in it if they actually read a book or an article?
Well,
because the book or the article can actually lay out a subject very, very cleanly and very orderly, and you're not dependent on catching something with your ear. Reading is just more substantive. But you're
dependent on catching it with your eye.
I know, but reading is just more substantive, because if you don't get something, you go back and reread it again.
I think debates can be useful in the context of supplementary, learning. And I also just wanted to have this conversation to see if we could debate over whether or not debates were useful. That's my only mistake in this.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if you'd catch up. If you'd catch that.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many things that I'm supposed to be doing. I would feel like I would need to repent, like honestly ask forgiveness if I wasted time on doing stuff like that. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being totally sincere. I have too much to do than bother with that. If White wants to, debate something, let him write a peer-reviewed article, but then he has to interact with all the research. And it's not going to be in a biblical studies, journal where he's going to be, again, where people are actually vetting. Again, people who do Old Testament Semitics would be vetting this work. It's just not going to happen. So I just think it's a colossal waste of time generally, and I would feel like I'm literally doing something wrong with my time. Yeah, again, I agree. I just don't want to be part of the problem, and I view part of the problem is people not studying, not reading, not saying I really want to know this topic, I want to understand it, and if that means I've got to put 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 hours into it, I'm going to do it. Rather than who has the best one-liner, who's funny, who says the catchiest thing oh, they won the debate. It's useless. I think ultimately it's useless, and it just doesn't really solve anything.
But like on a serious note, I've often found that I can get a lot from a debate because there's a difference between reading something and then seeing how someone in the context of a conversation can most effectively apply that, because it's not just about who was the best one-liners. Like I watch lots of debates where the person I disagree with says really funny things. That's not ultimately that's not how I judge it.
Yeah, you're not going to convince me. I don't know anybody who's ever really changed their mind on a debate. I'm sure it happens at some point. I mean, I can't be categorical, but I think it's unusual. Whereas people who study a subject with some degree of thoroughness, they do, get their minds changed. I mean, I'm one of those. So, yeah, I agree. They're just too much about snark. I could go on, and I just have a real low view of it. I have a low view of it. But I know, again, I've had this conversation with Craig Evans, who debates Bart Ehrman a lot, and again, he, on the one hand, he has to agree with me that, well, everybody probably leaves with the same view, that they had. But his contention is that people who like don't know anything about the subject, it's important for them to hear it, one side or the side they may disagree with defended coherently. Well, on the surface, that makes sense. But if you don't know anything about the subject, how do you know it's being defended coherently? How do you know the other guy is being incoherent? I mean, honestly, you only know those things when you, again, spend the time to actually get into a subject. And so that's what I want people to do. I want people to become students. I want people to use their God-given gifts to just start looking into stuff themselves. They are fully capable of it. So they need to do it. Go ahead.
That's really impactful, but I got something more important. Check out this meme Jen Doe made. It's Norman, but
how do I check it out?
You'll just see it on the stream in a sec. It's
okay.
Norman's album cover. It says parental advisory, explicit content, but it's Norman's new music career. Just gonna put that off to the side.
I don't see anything.
Well, it'll pop in soon enough. Chaos Hammer says, Calvin, put back my post. No. I can't. How about this? I'll delete all the other ones so you're still first.
The glorious PUG. The notorious PUG, okay.
You know who that's referencing?
I think it's BIG. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't even know what that stands for, nor do I care. But yes, I know the cultural reference, but just not much about it.
Notorious BIG.
Yeah.
He's the guy who did the one thing.
The one thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I can tell that the culture was enriched because everyone knows about it. Yeah. So.
That wasn't my meme. Jen Doe made that. Jen Doe literally screen capped the stream and photoshopped that in 30 seconds flat.
Okay. As long as that didn't take you too long, Jen. Again, being a little snarky there for Jen. She'll get she'll be able to pick up what I'm laying down there. So, let's see. Did you name your son Calvin after John Calvin because you secretly admire Calvinism? No. We've actually had this question asked before.
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's such a hilarious question. You tell every time someone asks that, I immediately know that they spent hours thinking of it.
No, it's because the what else they put in
the
there.
Only joke I think is funnier than that is probably, hey Calvin, where's Hobbes? And whenever someone asks me that, I block them on everything.
See, that's who I wish we'd have named you after because we like Calvin and Hobbes, but. No, we named Calvin after a guy in our church in Wisconsin. Calvin was born in Wisconsin.
I'm just going to tell people I'm named after someone who's not even named Calvin.
Calvin DeWitt, Cal DeWitt, who he's retired now, I'm sure, but at the time he was head of environmental studies at the university.
Can we have him on the PugCast?
Just a guy we liked.
Can we Can we Skype him into the PugCast?
Cal?
Yeah.
Probably could.
Have you talked to him lately?
I have not talked to him recently. No.
The Armenian What? Never mind.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with John
Chaos
Calvin.
Emerson's Calvin's
Although I
triggered.
think Cal DeWitt was named after John Calvin. I think that's true, but we named you after Cal DeWitt. So
Do you want to see me get mad triggered? Let me just talk about how much I hate Facebook. Can I talk about that for a sec?
why are you looking at
Okay,
something
okay.
on Facebook that's
No, I'm
irritating
looking at
you? or-
someone who says Calvin is triggered. Well, yeah, I am. I don't like Facebook. All right. Facebook is one
Aren't-
of the most irritating places. Like
aren't
I've
a lot
ever
of
been
people
to
leaving
online.
Facebook? Like, aren't a lot of people going to something
Good
else?
Lord, I hope so.
I think they are.
Okay, but here's the thing. Facebook has a lot of problems. Facebook is essentially a breeding ground for stolen content, and everything that I hate gets marketed towards me. Like my my wall on Facebook is nothing but now this is this Facebook page, and I think a YouTube channel, and they just make these like bite-sized political videos, but they're all garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And not just because I disagree with them, but like they bring up like really like they bring up these stats that sound really bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you look them up, and half the time they're either not true or they're very narrow,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like it's kind of like the mass shooting statistic where like the right and the left are using the exact same data, just one of them is counting like one higher, and it makes this like it's like that, right? So the videos are poorly made, they're very misleading, and I hate the host. He's annoying. I hate him so much. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he can't be that bright because he's working with Now This. So
All right.
I hate Facebook.
So
Tumblr's just as bad.
There's your little rant.
Someone asked me what my favorite YouTube channels are. I'm just gonna quickly answer that.
Go ahead.
My favorite YouTube channels right now, PewDiePie is still a big one because I love it. His content's great. So there's PewDiePie. Captain Disillusion is great.
That's a great site.
Yeah, Captain Disillusion is great. I like Asai26. He does these like Guitar Hero videos. I like Chris Chan is one. No, not the famous Chris Chan from like 2001. This is a different person. But
I
he makes
don't even know
these-
the famous Christian.
Oh my gosh! I gotta tell you about Chris Chan sometime. But this Chris Chan, he makes these vlogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're just very, very well edited, and he's like a skateboarder and does cool tricks, but his
Okay.
vlogs are just very, very funny because of the way he edits them. I like him, and let me think of one more real quick. Probably I really like Armored Skeptic. Armored Skeptic's great.
What does he do?
He's this like okay, so he's a YouTube channel that is mainly focused on debunking pseudoscience and like I guess super far left political opinions he disagrees with, but he's just very entertaining, and his videos have an insane amount of editing in them.
Huh.
Because oftentimes on his main channel, he's got multiple channels. On his main channel, he'll have like this mystery science theater type thing going on where there's like a bunch of characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're drawn in 2D or like they're photoshopped in 2D, and then he has a bunch of different poses for them, and then he puts them in a sequence where it's like animated stop motion, and it's just put together very, very well.
That's a ton of work.
It's great.
That's a
It's
ton of work.
incredible. Armored Skeptic's channel is, even if I don't agree with a lot of it,
Yeah.
it's so entertaining.
Rock and Roll here says Facebook just had over 50 million accounts hacked. Somebody else says you look like Matt Damon, a young Matt Damon. Yeah, we get that all the time. Let's see.
What's Matt Damon doing now?
Let's see.
Oh, wait, you know who the worst YouTube channel is? In my opinion, the objectively
Robert,
worst YouTube
it's
channel.
my normal haircut. They're always the same
Yeah.
because Drina cuts my hair. Let's see. Oh yeah, Jen says Honest Trailers. Yeah, that's a good site.
Honest Trailers is fun. I will say Cinema Sins is my least favorite YouTube channel.
What's your link?
Cinema Sins.
Oh,
It's like this. Basically, it's like if The Onion did reviews of movies, right? except half of the jokes are actual complaints they have, and half of those complaints are based off of things that the guy's just getting wrong, but it's not done in a comedic way. He's just an idiot, right? But well, then, his things.
Whoever's the wrong source material, why does he keep being wrong? Like what?
Because he has 3 functioning brain cells. I don't know.
That's just why.
I just don't like the way he's impacted like the YouTube movie review scene, because a lot of people take this guy seriously, and like the defense is always like, oh, well, these are just jokes, right? And yeah, they're jokes, but again, it's like if The Onion was half jokes and half serious political news stories, and they made no distinction between them. It's poorly made, and I hate it. I think Cinema Sins is the worst YouTube channel, at least the worst popular channel, other than maybe like I don't know, like.
There's a comment here, Bible Reviews Central
Jojo
with
Siwa.
Pastor Brian. I'm having a really hard time with Genesis and ancient cosmology. I was KJV only and a fun. Well, yeah, you're going to have a hard time with a lot of things if that's your background, but be patient. It is a shift. I mean, again, I'm not trying to be funny. It's real. It is a shift in thinking to interpret Scripture in light of its own context. Again, it sounds so simple, and on one level it is simple, but it's a profound shift. That just the notion of letting the writer and really his original audience speak for themselves from their own worldview, because that's again the worldview that produced the Bible. This is when God decided to prompt people to write these things. But we're so trained to ask our own questions of the Bible that it was never intended to address, or impose our own context on the Bible, and then try to make it teach those things that are foreign to it. That's so ingrained in us that it just takes a while. It takes a real shift. So I would say, again, just realize what it is you're doing, what you're being challenged to do. Let the Bible be what it is, and to read it through the eyes of its original writers and its original readers. It's as simple as that, but again, it's still a big shift. So I'm sympathetic. I had to do that too. Let's see here.
Let's see. Someone just responds to something I said earlier.
Go ahead.
And they said, don't have much to say about Armored Skeptic, despite being familiar with him. But for my money, Devin Tracy is pretty much the only atheist worth checking out. Because one of the things Armored Skeptic does is that he doesn't like build his identity around this. Like he doesn't make it a secret, but he is like an atheist channel, right? That's not really the topic of most of his videos. His videos are generally, and even when his videos are poking fun at something related to religion, it's something that's dumb enough for basically anyone to laugh at, because he's not on a crusade to like disprove religion. He just finds crazy things and he likes making fun of them.
Well, it's like I listen to Monster Talk, which is a podcast put out by Skeptic, not Skeptic Magazine, but whatever the society is that produces Skeptic Magazine. And it's the same with them. I mean, it's a good podcast, it's entertaining, but that's not their agenda.
Yeah.
Somebody just said, speaking of Genesis, I saw your video explain the waters above the firmament. How can your explanation be correct if God dictated Genesis to Moses and God cannot lie? Well, that's a simple answer. God didn't dictate Genesis to Moses. Where's the verse for that? Okay, there's almost nothing in the Bible that actually you'll read it and it'll have God telling someone to write something down. That's extremely rare. Like 10 Commandments, okay, you got it there, maybe a few other places, but that is not how we got Scripture. So the premise of the question is flawed, which makes the answer easy.
Who is your least favorite religious creator?
What do you mean religious creator?
Like a YouTube channel or a podcast?
Well, I don't watch much video.
Don't like.
I don't watch much video
Oh, okay.
that I agree with and don't like.
Yeah.
If I don't like them, I wouldn't watch them.
But like someone that you'd know of. Like I don't like the flat earthers, but I'm well aware of them and I like to make fun of them.
I mean, there's well, I don't really spend any time poking fun at them, but like if I would to sit, I'll answer it this way: if I were to sit down and listen to an episode of XYZ, it would just be irritating.
Yeah.
Probably somebody like Ken Ham, because it just he just can't. He's a young Earth creationist, and I have friends who are young Earth. I have friends who are old Earth. It's not the position that's irritating. It's the myopic. And in his case, it's the arrogance, that he talks about the material with, like everybody else is a moron except him. When he's got some serious problems with in defending his view. So a lot of it is just sort of personality, But I don't spend time doing that.
You ever hear of Girl Defined?
Girl Defined?
Yeah, Girl Defined.
No.
It's basically like a YouTube channel that's like ministry specifically targeted at young girls. And a while back on YouTube, they came under a lot of fire for just like some of like the videos that they put out. Like, I'm not sure, like the reason I don't like it, it's not because I do disagree with a lot of the things they say. But for me, the biggest part of it is the presentation. Like everything is so like whitewashed and perfect. Like there's like ukulele music in the background. Everything's like perfectly lit, and it's just these two women who don't know anything about anything, talking as if they know at least one thing, but they don't.
I don't know. I can't believe you'd even watch that. But
I've only seen not a lot of their videos, but I've seen a decent bit. Like it's kind of like have you ever seen something that's so they are the women's ministry equivalent of like the Uncanny Valley.
I don't know who that is.
Okay,
either.
no, the Uncanny Valley isn't a channel. The Uncanny Valley is like okay. So you have a scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on one end of the scale, it's something that doesn't look human at all, and at the other scale, there's a perfect human, right?
Right.
And the Uncanny Valley is like a section in like the 95% of looking human. And it's called the Uncanny Valley because the more human something looks, the more we like it. But there's this area almost at 100% where it dips, and that's why certain things are creepy. That's why clowns are creepy, because they look almost human. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is Girl Defined is like almost ministry, but it's poorly made.
Right.
And ill thought
Arab Not Muslim has questions about the Nephilim and Satan having access to heaven. The best thing I can tell you is spend some time on my website, read my books. I mean, I've just produced reams of material on this, but again, I can't reproduce the stuff that I've devoted hundreds and in some cases thousands of hours to here. So I want to encourage people to become students, become readers, and do that. So that's why it's out there, and most of it is free. I mean, some books, of course, that are not free, but a lot of it is free. Let's see here. What is Red Pill Matt Chandler? Does Matt Chandler have something called Red Pill?
No, Red Pill is a term. Okay, so you know The Matrix?
Yeah.
You take the red pill with the blue pill.
Yeah, I know the
like
movie.
That.
I know the movie well. I just didn't know that was some kind of term.
Oh, well. I mean, The Matrix didn't invent
it.
So
it's the Red Pill scene.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. I get it.
It would be like
right.
showing him the hard truth or whatever, I guess.
All right. Well, we're past an hour, so it's time to go. I mean, I got to go to the gym again. And some other stuff. Still working on my Philadelphia slides, but thanks for watching, everybody. But Mori is sacked.
Yeah, he
is
really
just
is.
out.
Just
yeah.
Never mind. I'm not gonna get into that yet.
All right. So I'm leaving. So you got to do your